Hey everybody, Sage Lawrence here with another recording for my YouTube channel, Sage's Law. I thank everybody that has subscribed to Sage's Law. Generally, I go through and I do things that are more comedic in nature, but today I'm just going to talk about something that really bothers the crap out of me, and that's actually poverty in the United States. Uh, Being a former military veteran and in a country where we have the privilege to even think about electing douchebags like Donald Trump into office, we hear people talk about poverty in the sense of why do we feed people in foreign countries when we have people here that are starving and hungry and understanding what poverty is. Now, the thing about poverty in the United States of America is our poverty line is set at basically $23,283 a year. This is for two adults, two kids. That's about $1,940 a month, or about $447 a week. Uh, this kind of money in America, does it make life hard? Yes. Does it make life detrimental? Yes. Do people in the United States have stories that they tell about how hard their lives were coming up? Yes. I grew up, just raised by my mother in a single parent household, my brother and I. My sister came along later. We were incredibly poor. We were on government cheese, government bread, government oil. We couldn't afford clothes at Goodwill. We had to get waivers to get clothes at Goodwill. But even in America, that's not poverty. In America, you have choices. You can make choices. You can go places. You can do things. If you're hungry, there are ways to eat. If you need a place to live, if you need a roof over your head, there are things you can do. There are options out there available for you. You can't just go, hey, I'm homeless. Here I am. I have two perfectly good legs, two perfectly good arms to go off and do something to do with my life. But, standing on this street corner makes me some pretty freaking good money. And that's what I'm going to do to make my money. A lot of people are not going to agree with me on this sense, and that's fine, because here in America you have the freedom to disagree with me if you wish to. Let's look at another country, okay? Afghanistan, somewhere I've been in the Kandahar province. For every 100,000 births, 460 mothers die. Basically, for what that means, for every 200 babies born, you've got a dead mom. If that were here in America we have 12,342 births every day. Imagine 62 mothers dead daily in America. Uh, that's astounding to even think about, and that's life and death. I mean, that's the reality. That's the big picture of things. You can sit there and whine about everything else, from internet service to, who's going to be the next president, crap like that, or you can think about life and death. The reality is that people in foreign countries, they're considering things like, hey, where am I going to get my next meal from? How am I going to feed my kids? We here in America, we have the luxury to sit there and point fingers at foreign countries and tell them how they should live their lives, because it's morally objectable not to do so. Uh, for every 1,000 births in Afghanistan, 119 infants die. In America, if that happened, we'd have 1,470 infant deaths every day. Looking at another country in the world, we've got the Democratic Republic of Congo. In the DRC, the average income every year, mind you, is $394.25. 400 bucks a year. Okay, that's $33 a month, or $7.50 a week. So there's your cup of coffee. You get to drink that every week. Okay, and you think, okay, hey, all these prices are low, so in the DRC everything must be wicked cheap. You can go there with a nickel and be a king. But realistically, in the DRC, a gallon of gas costs $6.25. A pack of cigarettes is $2. There's a deal. You can kill yourself cheaper. A gallon of milk is $10. $10 for a gallon of milk. Don't know what to tell you there. Here in America, you see a lot of people all over the internet. Um, and again, this is a freedom-based thing, but they're coming forward and they're saying it takes courage to do certain things, right? Um, Here in America, they say things like, you know what, you've put your pride aside, and that's commendable. That's courage. Other people in the world, pride is a luxury that they just really can't afford. We have people in the media like Bruce Jenner, the Kardashians, people that come forward, and it's like, man, that just takes a lot of courage to come forward and say what you had to say. That's not courage, ladies and gentlemen. Courage is staring down the barrel of a gun. Courage is going out and finding food for your children. Courage is not standing outside of a Walmart with a sign. That is not courage. Uh, Anybody and their grandma can do that if they find out that's what makes them money. We here in America, we're so damned privileged that we can sit there and look across the world and we don't understand concepts like true courage, poverty. Uh, I'm even privileged to bitch about things like this. I can come out on the internet and I can bitch about it because I have the privilege to do so. Uh, it's also a privilege and a luxury to judge others. Something else that we might want to think about. Uh, Morals themselves are a luxury. You have to ask yourself what you personally would be willing to do if you were placed in that situation. If you had to feed your kids, uh, you can never understand someone else's life until you can truly walk a mile in their shoes. We see camera crews wanting to go to foreign countries and film their little documentaries, and they're like, we're going to get as close to the scientific study of this culture as we can. So we're going to come in, and we're only going to be allowed to spend $33 a month. And these fucktards are walking around with their cameras and their white skin. And yeah, okay, they speak the language. Good job. Well done with your college education. Well played. But you walk in there and you don't think that you're being treated differently. You don't think that people are looking at you differently. You don't think that they're going to sit there and provide gifts to you and kind of show their country in a different light. You know, it's not real. It's unscientific. They can back out. They can choose, whoa, I've had too much. I'm out of here. And that's not real, okay? And understanding reality of the world is that is not real. And we here in America, we produce the most damn trash of any country in the world. We use more materials than any other country in the world. We live a lifestyle where it allows us to be spoiled fucking rotten. And we here in America can sit there and judge things like white privilege. People here in America, they don't understand what the hell white privilege is. So here it is for you, okay? A white person telling you about white privilege. I have the privilege to be able to walk into a store and walk around and know that I don't have a bunch of eyes following me just to purchase something. I have the privilege to go into a neighborhood and buy a home and not be pushed out of that neighborhood just because they don't know if I'm a shady type. I have the privilege to speak freely and be seen educated just because of my color skin. Okay? It's absolutely fucking ridiculous. But in the same regard, here in the United States, we've got this little thing called reverse racism. And if we think that only one group of people is racist or another group of people is racist, we're unfortunately absolutely wrong. We need to understand that you can't sit there and say, okay, I'm going to give this guy 5 cookies. And then white people go throughout their entire lives and they're getting 5 cookies every single day. But then the black man comes along and it's like, whoa, whoa, the black man only gets 2 cookies every day. 2 cookies every day. And eventually people come down and they're like, hey, you know what? That's unfair. They need to get their cookies too. But shit, we've been treating them like garbage for so many years. Why don't we give them 7 cookies? Okay, 7 cookies now, and that's okay. And then we come forward. We've got things like BET, Black Only Television, Black Entertainment Television. We've got things like Black Only this, Black Only that. It wasn't okay when we did it. It's not okay now. It's never going to be okay. You can't go forward with things like that and call it cultural awareness, pride of one's skin color, pride of one's culture. It's not that. It's absolute freaking racism, and it's just packaged in a different bundle. If we're ever going to get past garbage like that, we have to get past it in a whole. You've got things that you propagate. You sit there and you talk about you don't want to hear the N word used from anyone's mouth. I agree with you. I think it's a word that's connotated to hate. It wasn't created for that, but the word itself is attached to hatred. And yet it's in music on a regular basis. You sit there and you hear the average rap song that comes out, and it's spoken 300 to 400 times throughout all these damn songs and these damned albums, and you wonder why it's in the mouths of children, because it's so easily spoken. You're not just speaking to one race, one gender of children when you're putting out rap music. You're speaking to everyone. So that's what I have to say on that. Rant over. Thank you.